Okay, let me explain why a Christmas video is going out in the summertime. This was a funded video by longtime fan and fantastic supporter Zaku. He's funded north of 10 videos on my channel, and he's really amazing. And this was recorded on Christmas Day, and during that month, I had produced about 60 videos for the channel, including the top 10 best weapons video. That took a ridiculous amount of work, and honestly, I was drained, and he and I both just kind of forgot. I'm recording this intro because I take funded videos really seriously. I never feel like I'm worth that money, and it's insane that anybody wants me to make any video bad enough to pay me to do it. It's never necessary, but when it happens, I like to get the video out promptly. But he and I, after December, just kind of forgot about this video. It's normal that I go into hyperdrive for November and December, producing way more videos than normal. Anywhere from 60 to 70 videos a month in that period is normal for me because the holidays are fantastic, and I typically crash between, January, February, March. Then I had a life-changing personal event that had me not producing videos for 3+ months, and that's how you get a Christmas video that was funded but delayed by like 8+ months depending on when this goes out. So he's totally cool with it. I talked to him, and it's honestly just been fine the whole time, but the paper shredder video was just too fun. I just had to show it eventually, so I've been sitting on this footage this entire time. So finally, enjoy. Welcome to a bonus video on the channel. The gameplay you're seeing was from about a year ago when I thought, hey, the paper shredder's pretty good. Archer has been recommending it a lot. He said, no, Beast, it's really good. It's a paper airplane that you can't really control, but if you shoot it at a nearby target or on the ground, that explosion is not just really good, but it's affecting a large area around you. And if we go back to my screen here, you can see the perks are actually really strong. You can run a reload perk, which is very important because with a 4 mag size and a 4 ammo cost, you are going to be reloading after every shot, but crit rating, double crit damage, and affliction is pretty fantastic because we can run totally rocking out to make sure that critting is happening very often, and we can run the correct element to pair with the mission that we're in. I'm running nature right now just because I'm recording this in a water mission, and affliction will do extra damage over time to finish off the enemies that didn't quite die from your first explosion. That's really important because when you're reloading after every single shot, having those enemies fade away over time is great. And I did say today was a bonus video because I recorded a lot of this footage from a year ago when I thought this would be fun to cover, and then I just didn't. And Zaku is a regular donor from my streams. Thank you so much. He decided to fund an extra video. I want to make it very clear, nobody has to pay me anything to make videos. I will keep my channel alive and healthy so long as I'm in the mood and I'm having fun. So when you guys are getting regular uploads, that is happening from my own fruition. But if a very generous donor is interested in making a certain topic happen, like the paper shredder shown today, that is something I will talk about. Now, I am recording this during Fortnite, but I have a lot of videos already scheduled, so it might be possible that this is information that's no longer relevant, but I will say that no matter what time of year it is, you should know that during the Fortnite season, you can unlock the paper shredder. I am in the menu right now trying to show the mission, but I don't have it, so back to gameplay while I say, if you keep the burner in Fortnite above 50% for 10 waves in a row, you can get the paper shredder. Now, if you're having trouble doing this challenge, this might not be relevant if Fortnite's not available, but bear with me. If you're having trouble with that challenge, you do need to keep the burner above 50% even after the wave finishes. So that minute and a half or 2 minutes before the next wave starts counts. So I learned that when we were having trouble getting the paper shredder unlocked, you need to keep it above that 50% for not just the start of the wave, but all the way to the start of the next wave. And if you do that for 10 waves, you unlock this glorious little weapon that a lot of people ignore, myself included. But if you run the right loadout like this one, you'll have a really good time. So Beetlejuice in the lead, of course. We're going for big crit damage today. That is really nice. Totally rocking out is essential just to make sure we can crit very often, and healing us is nice. Battlebeat, because she's great. Getting 10 kills should be easy enough, and activating rocking out is important, and subwafers will allow us to guarantee that we can activate the team perk right before we shoot the weapon. Now, we're never going to get full use because 8 seconds is already lost when I have to eat the wafer, then switch to the weapon, but it's still the best thing we can do to guarantee that the team perk is available when we need it. Then we got hip shot because just extra pistol damage makes sense. We are using a pistol after all. I figured Saurian Might would actually be a nice addition to this because you can have the 15% extra damage from locked and reloaded. That's fine, but we are shooting about once a second as well, and this should be more damage than that perk. So it doesn't really matter. I'm using Rex Jonesy. You can use the reload bonus from Skull Ranger Ramirez if you'd like. It doesn't really make that big of a difference. And then on the bottom is just a fun pick. I am not saying Wukong is the best for this. It doesn't really matter at this point. You could use Eternal Wanderer to run around faster or whatever, but I figured if we're already going to be blowing up enemies and killing multiple at once, having an extra explosion happening could be pretty fun, and he is actually pretty decent to use. And that's it. Let's hop in game and check it out. All right, hopping in game, live comm recording, just having fun with this one. You can instantly see how nuts this weapon is. I know I've been showing footage from that previous recording this whole time, but yeah, 1,000,000 damage is super easy, and Zaku is using the exact same loadout. So whenever you see a bunch of enemies die in front of me, it was probably because of him. So check this out. You don't really have the accuracy. Chat's going crazy because I'm recording this on Christmas. I know that just dated the video, but thank you to my supporters. If you guys ever want to watch these live, you can check me out on Twitch, link down below. Look at that damage, dude. I don't even have a wafer activating the team perk, and everything is just dead. So a nice thing about running an Outlander is that with your anti-material charge, you can get all that credit for the wafers, which is really nice. You can just punch into the building here, just like so, and get 18 wafers total. All right, here's a smasher. Let's see if we can just boost it just like that and shoot it right at the floor. Oh, I missed. Yeah, that's going to happen a lot with this weapon, but look at that damage. 1,000,000 coming out of this thing, and then the Affliction finishes it off. I basically killed it in 2 shots. I know that that's not completely fair, but damn, this thing is so fun to use. If you guys have been sleeping on this weapon, I highly recommend it. This is why I've been hanging on to this footage for so long. I recorded it a year ago. Well, 10 months to be exact, now that I've dated my recording. But 10 months I've been sitting on this footage just because I know the weapon's good, but I didn't want to record another video on it until it was available again. And even now, this video might be up after the Frostbite season's passed. So I hope you guys got this weapon. It's so strong and so fun. All right, one more encampment before the mission starts, just because the encampments will trigger 250 power level enemies. And great, we got one of the most annoying encampments in the entire game. Oh boy, let's see how it does. So we can mostly one-shot the 250 guys. We're gonna have to aim at the floor. I'll say, shielders, riot huskies, this weapon, little Ben's war cry from the chat, this weapon is uniquely suited for this situation. It's not quite the Xenon bow, but that did not struggle at all. That didn't struggle one bit. And that reminds me, I did consider using Chaos Agent in this build, but Chaos Agent since launch has been really buggy with weapons that, you know, reload right away. So like it could happen so that you trigger Chaos Agent, reload the weapon, but you still get stuck in the reload animation. And I just didn't want to mess with that. With the reload perk, it's pretty easy to spam this thing. And you can see the damage, even with Affliction, takes care of it. It's no big deal.
Demanga married is the Grinch.
Yes, he is. All right, little reminder, everybody, that in a water metal corrosion mission, it is still good to build out of metal because metal corrosion, 1, doesn't do that much damage, and 2, only activates from normal husks. So husky husks and mist monsters and the mini boss will not actually activate that metal corrosion. So long as you put down a decent amount of traps, it shouldn't really be a problem. And because we're in a water zone, using nature's seeing electric fields is going to be a lot more effective than regular seeing electric fields, and we can just put down a basic trap defense. Since this is going to be a short 1 mission game, I figure I might as well do a little trapping tutorial. I always like to do tar pit completely around the base. That's going to stop smashers in their tracks, and since I'm an Outlander, I might as well pick that up. And since we're running the mission, being a good teammate, we can at least upgrade these builds. There we go. And the spawns are going to be coming from this section up here. You can see in the bottom right, and then the north section, and we have pretty much no south defense. Thank you, Demon Gamer.
Demon Gamer has gifted 1 chest to Yeet Crab.
We can funnel, honestly, with brick. It's pretty okay to just use that, and then that'll make the enemies come from this section over here. And then we can probably just do a couple tiles away, build a wall like this. Anything coming through these slopes, look, we can build in walls now. That was not possible in like any of my trap guides. I love it. But for a defense like this, it's pretty easy. I'm gonna build out of metal just in case we see propanes, and floor freeze facing the objective because this will stagger enemies backwards once it activates, and that is highly effective. And I do believe 173 is my nature copy. In this version of the game, we do not currently see the element that the trap is, but it is okay. As long as you look at the amount that you have, it should be good. And I'm just going to put these over every single one of the floor freeze here, and it should be good enough. We are using some pretty powerful weapons, and we do have a full team. Storm God's running base, which is awesome, so shouldn't be too nervous of a recording, but it is always better safe than sorry on that front. And then these enemies are going to be coming from out here. I'm just going to trap passively. Instead of funneling these guys, I am just going to put down traps like so. I'm gonna do this, that, and then over here. Yeah, just 4 should honestly be plenty because honestly, I have a lot of faith in the Paper Shredder. Aiming at the ground, blowing up enemies, doing 1,000,000 damage with minimal setup is so nice that I think it's gonna do an okay job. Even versus Smashers, whose health pool can get up to about 4.8 million. That's a lot, but I think we're going to be okay. And we're going to have a whole team here participating, so it shouldn't be too bad. I don't even know where that... why is this not placing up here? I wonder why it's giving me so much trouble, but yeah, scaffolding goes a long way. Then we got some stuff up here, and I think we could just start the mission. Let's get it going. I tried to get this started relatively quick, spending very little time in the 160s area here, because
Once the mission starts, you get the higher level enemies, and I don't want the storm to be too closed in. I don't like it when my video is super dark, but yeah. Let's see. Oh, do we have a smasher right away? Is that a 160 or is he, oh, I can't tell. Oh no, a bunch of enemies, and they're dead. Am I starting at a low health, or am I just taking a ton of damage? Because activating Totally Rockin' Out is going to be very necessary to get that health back up. There's a smasher. Okay, actually impacting him. That's important. I don't normally respect impact on weapons if you're giving up damage for it, but if it is actually staggering the enemies that's coming at me, I'm happy to see it. And oh, look at that. Range on this thing, pretty tough. You cannot control where that goes, but that's a perfect example that I might have stolen for the intro to show when you don't quite kill a target, seeing them fade away from the affliction is really nice to see. And you can see the area of effect, not too bad. Not too bad at all. And yeah, unless I'm going to actually kill or stagger that mist monster, definitely going to die because I'm not paying too much attention to my health. All right, we're back in the fight. So healing myself is very important. I think standing in beehives close to the storm is not a good place to be when I'm actually trying to showcase a weapon. So let's do this. Let's get a little closer, staying outside of range of the beehives. Look at that damage, man. Look at that damage. And then, of course, I'm keeping the healing pads nice and close. Let's go over here. Maybe we could see some other enemies. Yep, nice big crowd of enemies. Very useful for encampments. I only got like one in this video, and you guys saw it was the worst encampment for this. But honestly, aiming at the ground like this and just doing that much damage to everything nearby is really amazing. Really, really fun every single time. I never believed in this weapon because it's super inaccurate and kind of clunky to use. You know, you can't choose where it's going. You have very little range damage. You can see, like, it's not like the Tiny Instrument of Death, link that video down below, where you can actually guide the missile. No, you're throwing a paper airplane that's going to do kind of whatever it does, which is pretty fitting, you know? Unless you were a total nerd in school, you were probably making paper airplanes that went wherever they wanted and as long as they wanted. Then you get one that goes super far, but it wouldn't last that long, and then it broke. Like, that's pretty much what using this weapon feels like. Except for the explosion doing millions of damage to everything around it. That didn't happen in real life. I mean, anybody who's tried to attach anything explosive to their paper shredder probably, or their paper airplane, probably didn't experience anything quite like this, but that's why video games are awesome. Ever since I was a kid, you know, we would do you know, we'd play games. We do Call of Duty in the backyard with Nerf guns or whatever. But then as soon as that round's over and you have to, like, pick up all the darts, you realize why reality is so awful. And then you go back inside and play actual Call of Duty. That's why Fortnite is awesome.
Demongamary says,
oh, what is he
saying?
saying?
I used to do origami.
Origami?
So I learned how to make some lit paper planes.
Okay. All right. So he was one of those nerds out here doing origami, making the best paper airplanes around. Mm-hmm. My sister just got an origami kit today from her Christmas gifts. So yeah, maybe she'll be the one in the house throwing paper airplanes around. I actually have my own paper airplane story. My science teacher was trying to teach Newton's laws, and like action reaction came up, and I was having a lot of fun with paper airplanes, and I was distributing them to everybody. I got pretty good at it. Okay, this is where I reveal to the audience that I was one of those nerds who made good airplanes, but I distributed them. I was free for all, and well, the teacher, she went with it. You know what? She's like, screw it. I got a bunch of 6th graders that are impossible to control. And this does show Newton's third law, action, reaction, as it, you know, you feel the force on your hand as you send it out. And that was fun. That was one of my best science classes ever. And then she lost her mind in the coming days when we really, really, really liked that lesson and wanted more and more paper airplanes. She was not as okay with it on the 2nd and 3rd days, but that was pretty fun while it lasted. I'm not gonna lie. I had a great time just distributing paper airplanes and watching them go. And yeah, so paper airplanes are fun, but uncontrollable if you don't know what you're doing. And that's why video games are better. You can load up Save the World and just blow up tons of enemies over and over and over. People ask me, like, how do I have fun with this game? How do I keep playing it every day? Okay, one, I don't. I play a lot of other games besides Save the World. But when I do play the game, I do stuff like this. It's so fun to just try out a weapon. I've even done all my 160s this week. I am gaining nothing from this mission besides a YouTube video, which is honestly worth it. Love chatting with you guys. Oh my gosh, that propane just did so much damage. So Rex right now, not adding a lot of damage. I understand that my health is very low, but you can see, this is definitely not a smasher killer. I said it'd be okay, but I did say 5.8 million health, and we're seeing about like 1 million damage maybe.
Shut the f up demon.
Wow, they
gamer
are
in
battling
chat
right
mode.
now. So I'm going to bleep that. Thank you, Editing Beast. In chat, they have been buying Stream Loots cards, which is an awesome way to interact with the stream. And while they've been getting really feisty with each other, it's become a whole war. And, you know, as long as they're buying Stream Loots packs, I feel like they're having a war and I'm selling the ammunition, which is... I'm an arms dealer. That's really what it is. I'm a Twitch chat arms dealer. Which honestly, yeah, somebody just put a popcorn emote in chat. That's how I feel. So, we have a mini boss that I can actually interact with. Oh my gosh, it is interacting with me so much harder. Okay, this is not a lot of damage. This is not a lot. Do I have any other pistol right now that I can show that's like not the Dirge Song, which is obviously insane? Maybe I should use a Dirge Song. All right, we're gonna use a Dirge Song. So if you guys haven't seen this video on screen, you definitely should. The Dirge Song is kind of insane. You can see that Nurse just failed to exist. And yeah, the amount of damage you do when this thing booms is ridiculous. I mentioned it already, the Paper Shredder is not gonna be killing a mini boss, but yeah, I just lost a lot of damage by healing myself, but Zaku's alive. The man who funded this video, the reason we're here. Yeah. If you guys haven't seen that Dirge Song video, link to that down below. That video showcases a loadout that is significantly more optimized for the Dirge Song, and it is probably the strongest loadout in the game right now. That's why I put that in the thumbnail and or title. I said it's the strongest loadout because I believe it.
Leave him alone,
Leave
you
him alone,
fatty.
God. These guys are just at each other's throats today. I don't even know what started this. Well, maybe I do. Yeet Crab was being mean to Jack, who's in game. The JXVK. That's the most crazy way I've seen Jack spelled ever. It's like X instead of A and then a sideways C. They're still going?
Storm
God's the Grinch. Which is very fitting for the holiday season. Yeah, so my streams are pretty fun. If you guys ever want to be a part of this madness, Twitch link down below. Stream Loots packs are a great way to support the channel, and it's fun. Also, if you have Amazon Prime, you can sub for free on Twitch, so you can enjoy an ad-free viewing experience for $0. Well, I'm plugging things. If you are a member on the YouTube channel, you get to see my scheduled videos early. You do not need to pay to see any of my content. I plan to make all my videos free to view. I don't think anything's going to be locked behind members indefinitely, unless it's just some silly behind-the-scenes stuff, and that's a great way to support as well. If you guys want to see my early videos, you can do so. Otherwise, you can just wait and see them all for free. So that moment right there is one of my perfect little, one of the perfect little Paper Shredder moments. You hit 5-6 targets for most of their health. Affliction takes them out in the next pop, and it's just awesome. This is one of the Paper Shredder's worst moments. You have a Mist Monster who has your number, and you can't do anything at range. And I know this showcase is brutal, but yeah, it's because I'm standing in the storm. If you wanted to use this weapon and be a little bit more smart about it, you'd be staying in the storm where I am right now. I am desperate to show you guys what this weapon could do because I'm making a YouTube video, but you do not need to be dead nearly as much as I am. Thank you for the Prime sub. I really appreciate it. That's why I mention it. It's why I mention it. You know, if you're watching this in the YouTube video, Twitch link down below. Come use your Prime sub. If you're on stream, thank you. But yeah, short showcase. Just a quick little overview. Hey, this weapon's great. You might have missed it. You might want to pick it up. It's here, it's fun, and honestly, million+ damage from this little pistol, not something I ever expected. So, thank you, Archer, for plugging this video as hard as you did. He was telling me it was awesome, and I should have believed him sooner. Thank you, Zaku, for making it happen, and thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next upload. Subscribe, like the video, recommended videos here at the end, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye. And then